Oh, I think we're live, right? Oh, yeah, buddy, man. Golly, the college football playoff is sure going to be something else. Let me let Gojo out because we're going to have some things to discuss. So this is how at least how I would conceive what your four teams with the bye look like. Indiana, Ohio State, Georgia, Texas Tech. I don't think Georgia. Maybe you make the case Georgia did enough to jump Ohio State. Ohio State just lost a close game against another undefeated. I wouldn't do that. I'm not doing that. So I'm just going to leave it as is. Indiana, 1. You got Georgia, or you got Ohio State 2, Georgia 3. Texas Tech will be 4. Let's see. We got John in here. I don't know. I kind of feel like the 2 seed has the better side of the bracket because they won't have to face Oregon. I bet Ohio State and Indiana end up being 1 and 2. They should. I think they deserve to. Now the question is, and I'm just gonna. I'm keeping eyes right now on the Virginia game. You got less than 2 minutes left. This is how things broke down right now with the last college football playoff rankings. I don't think Oregon, Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma did anything to warrant them to move. So I think I'm going to keep it as is with Ole Miss at 6. Here we go. So Ole Miss here at 6. Maybe they do something with like, oh, we're going to move Ole Miss back because they lost their head coach, whatever. I don't know. I'm going to keep it like this. We'll figure out how 11 and 12 looks like in the next 2 minutes. Got these teams. Hey, sorry. Come again, Duke. You're not getting in. What are we doing? Utah, we eliminated them last week. I think Texas, Vandy are on the outside looking in regardless. I mean, maybe we can make a pitch for BYU, but it doesn't seem like it. The teams we're talking about are Miami, Notre Dame, and Alabama. That's where all the conversation's going to be had right now. I think if the college football had their way, if the college football committee had their way, Duke's punting it, by the way, so Virginia will get one final drive, 2 timeouts, 1:44 left. Something to keep an eye in. I won't switch. I won't switch Georgia and Ohio State. I mean, maybe, oh, well, they only got 1 loss. It was Alabama, and they got the redemption. Okay, maybe, sure, but no, I think it's going to look like that. Yeah, I think if college football playoff committee had it their way, it's going to look like this. Plain and simple. Remember, the president was set last year with SMU. It doesn't matter if you don't win your conference title. If you're in the top 10 prior, we're not going to penalize you for playing in your college or in your conference championship game. That's just not what we're going to do. So there's a president set. There's a president from last year set. The college football committee, I think they would like to avoid this whole conflict with Notre Dame and Miami. But I think if Virginia can get in via the ACC championship game, again, that's kind of in the midst. We'll learn what happens with that during this stream. Was Virginia trying to drive? They got 1:09 left. There's a flag on the field. Maybe a little defensive holding, but this is where I think Miami has a chance. If Virginia loses, you get 2 group of 5 teams as those champions. Tulane 11, JMU 12. Again, we have it set like that because Tulane's 20, James Madison 25. Then I think then Miami gets into play here. But then the question is, who falls out, Notre Dame or Alabama? If it was me, I think Notre Dame be on the outside looking in regardless. You lost the head-to-head to Miami. If you want to compare them to Alabama, I think the college football committee already made that argument, and that's why they moved Alabama to Notre Dame to in front of Notre Dame. Again, we go back to the rankings. Alabama 9, Notre Dame 10. I'm sorry, Notre Dame, you don't have a conference championship to play in. You don't get to play an extra game. But looking at the resumes, I don't think it's close. I really don't. Alabama, they have the 11th best strength of schedule compared to Notre Dame, all the way down here at 42. Alabama's best win, it's Georgia, who they just lost to in the SEC championship game. It's tough to beat a team twice in a year. It just is. What's Notre Dame's best win? It's USC. If you're going to come with me like, well, look at the losses. Listen, if your biggest flex is who you lost to, that's not a great way to start the conversation on why you belong. And I just think the college football committee, hey, we're not built to leave the ACC out. We need an ACC or ACC representative. Miami gets that at large bid. So I think it could look like this. I think that's kind of where maybe I'm at. Again, a lot relies on what happens in this Duke game. Because, I mean, I don't know how you can have this discussion about Miami and Notre Dame because we could go through the sketties. Let's do it. Matter of fact, let's do it. Miami, strength of schedule, 44th. Notre Dame, 42nd. Okay, very similar strength of schedules. We got similar records, 10-2, 10-2. Miami, Notre Dame, a lot of common opponents, right? NC State, Notre Dame, they beat them 36-7. Miami, they beat them, 41-7. We got Syracuse. Miami beat them 38-10. Notre Dame pounded them into freaking dust, 70-7. Stanford. Okay, we got Stanford. Notre Dame beat them 49-20. Miami beat them 42-7. Pittsburgh. This was a ranked win that Notre Dame got to hang their hat on, right? Or at least ranked at the time. Miami beat them 38-7. Notre Dame beat them 37-15. So very similar outcomes. They pounded these teams into dust. So we got similar strength of schedule, similar resumes. The losses, okay, I get the justification for the losses. Look, Notre Dame lost to these college football caliber teams early in the year. Remember, Carr, new time starter. Literally his first two starts, Miami, A&M, that's kind of rough. They lost by a combined 4 points. Okay, Miami, terrible losses. Lost a close one to Louisville. This was before Isaiah Brown went down. Louisville was a different team, and then things kind of fell off. Let's actually take a look at Louisville. Again, let's just talk this sucker out loud. I think actually Brown got hurt in the Miami game. He hasn't been back since. They went on a 3-game losing streak. But they were a 1-loss team to Virginia, who's currently playing the ACC title game, by the way, in a close game. I'm not going to pretend like Louisville, is that a great loss? No, but it's not a terrible loss. SMU, they were essentially in the ACC title discussion. Yeah, they're 8-4. I'm not saying it's a great loss too, but they were gonna go compete in the ACC title game, and then SpaghettiOs, they lose to Cal. Look at that. The ACC title game being decided by a team from Texas playing in California. That's what's deciding your Atlantic Coastal Conference title game. Conference realignment, am I right? Okay, cool. Notre Dame, the flex you have is your losses. But, I mean, they did from there on out. Hey, hats off. I'm not going to do hats off because I'm bald and I don't want to blind the camera, but hats off to Notre Dame. You pounded everyone by double digits from there on out on your schedule. Beautiful. But, I mean, with the team with similar strengths of schedule, similar outcomes when facing common opponents, there's a head-to-head we could point to and pick from? Oh, Miami won that. I know it was at the beginning of the year, but your resume matters. What you do in the season matters. Just because that was the first game of the season doesn't mean it doesn't matter. Then why even have a beginning of the season? So I would give that to Miami, right? Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame. So maybe we make the case, put Miami in here, right? Again, right now, Virginia trying to score a touchdown, 41 seconds left in the game, 2nd and 10. Virginia on Duke's side of the football field. I'll keep you posted. Cal's freshman is very good, by the way, and he's staying. Kirito, welcome to the party. Congratulations. Your team should have a first-round bye. They deserve it. Congratulations on your Big 12 championship aspirations. All right, for now, we're going to put Virginia here. Again, we don't know the outcome of that game right now. I would love to talk about Vandy. I would love to talk about BYU. That's not the discussion here, and that doesn't look like that's going to be the discussion for the college football playoff committee. Because I think you can make a case where it's like, well, you know what? Maybe we just take BYU, one-loss BYU. Oh, looks like there we go. Let's move BYU. You could stick BYU here and just say, sucks to suck, Notre Dame and Miami. BYU one-loss. Better strength of schedule than both Miami and Notre Dame, by the way. Let's go take a look at that resume. BYU, 34th. So not that much better. And honestly, their best win is Utah. You could argue Miami has a better win. You can't argue that Notre Dame has a better win because USC, one spot below Utah. You could say it's a comparable win. BYU's one loss this year. Well, shenanigans. It's Texas Tech, and it happened twice, and it happened in the conference championship game, and we're not penalizing conference champion if you participated, right? So I think you avoid this by having BYU in and just saying, well, don't lose 2 games, Miami. Don't lose 2 games, Notre Dame. So, but I mean, realistically, it sounds like BYU's out. It's not even going to be a consideration. So now we got this mess. We got this freaking mess. 22 seconds left in the game, by the way. ACC, I'm giving you the play-by-play. Oh my gosh, touchdown, Virginia. No, this is going to overtime? Well, I guess this just turned into a play-by-play of the ACC title game. Shenanigans. Oh, the receiver was out of bounds, but he was forced out of bounds by the defender. Oh, let's just pull up the Gamecast, why don't we? This just turned in to Duke. Virginia watch along. Oh, golly gee. I'm going to tell you this. If I were to guess what's going to happen, and I said guess, again, not what I would do, but guess. Virginia wins this game. It's curtains for Miami. Because I think the only thing that maybe gets Miami in is the college football committee wants ACC representation. If they get that ACC representation via Virginia, then I think Miami's out. I think they just put Notre Dame in. Dang, why am I still watching this game on my phone? I'm going to turn it on my other screen. This is why we go live, ladies and gentlemen. This is why. Special thanks to our friends over at Underdog Fantasy. By the way, Gojo today, 2 for 1. He hit the first 2, didn't land when it came to Ohio State. Is what it is, Gojo. You can't be perfect. I'm sorry, buddy. It is what it is. But if you sign up at Underdog Fantasy with promo code Broshmo, they match that first deposit up to $1,000. You do whether it be weekly best ball, maybe pick'ems, higher, lower on player stats. That's always a fun way to play. I'm not even going to look at FanDuel. I already took the L. That's right. I took Ohio State too. I was rooting for Indiana. I got what I wanted. I wasn't going to bet against Ohio State though. Maybe I should have. Golly, dude. Let's give some props to Kurt Signetti though. How he has flipped and transformed that Indiana program is utterly amazing. Duke's going to get the ball two timeouts at their own 14 with 18 seconds left. I think we're going to OT, boys and girls. Strap in, buckle up. Golly, this is cinema. I can't believe it, man. You should go live for Army-Navy game. Respect the troops. I don't know. I might take that Saturday off and hang out with my family. Yeah, Duke's taking the knee. We're going to OT. Duke was up 10 points with 5.5, maybe 6 minutes left in regulation. Golly, Virginia, they will not die. They will not die. Oh, buddy. Duke is freaking garbage. Duke's not a bad team. They're not garbage. They're not Boston College. Come on now. Oh, they're not what Syracuse was to end the season. Come on. All right. Well, welcome to who's in, what's going on with the college football playoff to our Virginia Duke watch along party. Hey, welcome in. Hit that thumbs up. I don't care if you're on the YouTube. I don't care if you're on the X. Hit that thumbs up. As we're going to OT. Pac-Man says, come on, Duke. As a Hurricanes fan, I'm saying come on, Duke as well. Yeah, Boston College and Syracuse would slap UMass. Hey, isn't this UMass's first? Well, no, this is their first time in their first season, not in the FBS. They were independent. Where are they at? Are they the MAC? I think UMass is MAC now, right? Let's actually go see. Teams? No, I think I'm just looking at stand-ins, right? Oh, boys and girls, what a mess we have on our hands. All right, let's go to the MAC. I'm pretty sure that's where UMass is at. Yeah, they're in the MAC. 0-12, by the way. 0-12. Yo, Kent State got 5 wins this year. Yo, let's go, Kent State. Let's go. So back-to-back plays in that Duke game, causing penalties. Woof. Woof, woof, woof. Listen, we could talk about how bad the ACC's been this year. We're sitting here if you're an Alabama fan, if you're a Notre Dame fan, or if you're a Miami fan, if you're a Duke fan, if you're a Virginia fan, if you're a JMU fan, you right now, you're holding on for dear life, seeing how the ACC championship will end. Cinema. Freaking wild. Here we are. I can't believe this. And here they're explaining the overtime rules. All right, here we go. Georgia could go to the 2 seed. Oh, dude, in what world does Ohio State not get a bye? Duke? Dude, Ohio State just played Duke closer than Oregon. Or I said Duke. Sorry, I got ACC on the mind. Ohio State just played Indiana closer than Oregon did. And that happened in Oregon's backyard. No, Oregon's not getting a bye over Ohio State. I'm sorry. That's outlandish. I think Ohio State probably is the number 2 seed. I kind of made up my mind that probably your 1 and 2 seed is going to be Ohio State and Indiana. Oh, this is if it was still 4 teams. No, I think Ohio State still makes the college football playoff. I don't think Oregon gets in over Duke. Or, my gosh, I can't stop thinking about freaking Duke. I don't think Ohio State gets in, or I don't think Oregon gets in over Ohio State. All right. 1st and 10 for Duke. Duke at the Virginia 14. And they're going to keep running the football. They're inside the 10, down at about the 8. You could show Ohio State's strength of schedule versus Texas Techs. Where do we got Texas Techs? Ohio State, they're 46th. Let's just control F this sucker. Texas Tech is 59th. So Ohio State, they got 46th. So they got a better strength of schedule than Texas Tech. Dude, and stinking Duke just running the football. They're inside maybe the 2-3 yard line right now. It's going to be 1st and goal. Kirito? Dang, never mind. Sorry, Kirito. I mean, if we're talking about a 4-team playoff, this is your 4-team playoff right here. Sorry, Oregon. Should have won at home to Indiana. Didn't happen. Yeah, I think this would be your 4-team playoff. But we got bigger problems because of this 12-team playoff. Handoff. Good goal line stand right there. It's going to be 2nd and goal for Duke at the Virginia 1. I mean, Ohio State can't. Ohio State can fall behind Georgia and Texas Tech. I mean, I don't know. There's no reason, I think, for Ohio State to fall. They have better. They have, I would say, a better loss. Their loss is against Indiana, who wins the Big Ten. They're your number 1 seed. Oh, Mensa's got nobody open. He's going to have to throw this sucker. Oh! Almost had a guy there. They're calling it incomplete. Yeah, I think he was out of bounds. So it's going to be 3rd and goal. I mean, Georgia, your 1 loss. Yeah, he had his foot out of bounds. Wow, that was almost a very impressive catch. But foot is out of bounds. Oh, because what? Georgia, your 1 loss is Alabama. Your best win is what? Alabama. But then you could make the case, what's Ohio State's best win? Michigan. Well, Texas, that's a good win. But, I mean, Georgia then later goes on to smash. I think you can make a great case, actually, for Georgia to be the 2 seed and Ohio State the 3. I don't think you can make that case for Texas Tech. And goal line stop by Virginia. Oh, man. Will Duke go for it? I don't think so. I think they probably kick it. I think they kick it. Would I love to see him go for it? Yes. Yes, I would. And the offense is on the field for 4th and goal. I think we could all agree Ohio State is either the 2 seed or the 3 seed. They're not dropping them to the 4th seed. And they're going for it. Mensa rolling out, looking. Tosses it. Touchdown! Freaking let's go. There's a flag. No, he was rolling out. Don't tell me there's a hold. Oh, there. Okay, late hit on the quarterback. Okay. Woo! Late hit on the quarterback. Touchdown stands. Do you go for 2? The 15-yard penalty is going to be enforced on Virginia's drive. So they're going to start from the 40 instead of the 25? Oh, dude. Yeah, the Miami fan came out on that. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, dude. I don't trust the college football committee. Miami needs Duke to win this game. Texas Tech's not going to be 3. No, they're going to be 4. You could try and make the case for Texas Tech. I think them at 4. I think the playoff committee is going to be like, no. Listen, we already don't like the Big 12. You're at 4. Take it or leave it. I think Georgia has a great argument to be 2, though. I'm going to be fascinated by that. What's the I'm just kind of curious. Where's Georgia? They're 25th strength of schedule. So I think there's actually a good case for Georgia. They win their conference. All right, we got a trick play here by Virginia. So it's kind of a flicker. It's intercepted. And let the chaos commence. Duke has won. Sorry, Virginia. Thank you for coming. Oh, tier makers all spazzing out on me because they're pop-up ads. All right. Let's discuss. Dude, we got Tulane and James Madison. There's your 11. There's your 12. Now they're reviewing the interception. That's an interception. There you go. All right. Virginia out. Thank you for coming. Alabama out. I think Alabama's the team you put ahead of Miami and Notre Dame. I mean, just look at this difference in strength of schedule. Alabama, 11. Notre Dame, 42. Miami, 44. Let's go to the college football rankings. Best win for Alabama. Oh, I don't know. It's Georgia, who's going to be your 2 or 3 seed. Notre Dame's best win. It's down here. It's USC. Miami's best win. It's up here. It's Notre Dame, actually. I think Bama's in, man. Bama's in. I know it was ugly today. It didn't look great. They lost to a team that they beat at home. Georgia. They beat Georgia in Athens. I think Bama's in, man. This comes down to Miami and Notre Dame. The best thing that I think Miami should be ahead of Notre Dame based on head-to-head. The best thing, though, because I think the College Football Playoff Committee, they would have taken Miami, or they would have taken Notre Dame ahead of Miami. But now that there's no ACC representation, that might be enough. Or does the College Football Committee? This is something that can happen here. Because they already set this, that maybe they're like, hey, man. Remember, hey, they said teams are not going to be penalized for what they do, for what happens, for making their conference championship game. They would be penalized in Alabama for playing an extra game. They would be penalized in Alabama for losing to a team they had already beat earlier in the year. If Alabama doesn't play that game, they don't get to play in their SEC championship game, they'd be in. I get it. The loss today wasn't bad. Like, it was bad. It was bad. But shoot, man. Hey, Florida State didn't get penalized for winning their conference championship game. They got penalized for Jordan Travis going down. To which I'm not here to. I don't want to put Alabama in here. I was fighting for Florida State over Alabama back then. Florida State got punished for not having a key player, and I think that's bullcrap. Look at the resume. You don't penalize 21 other starters on that team because one goes down. I think that was stupid. I think Florida State should have been in. Now, do I think Alabama was the better team? Yes. But this isn't a beauty pageant. Don't play the regular season if this is going to be the eye test. Remember, the eye test said Ryan Day probably should have been fired after the Michigan game last year. And then what does he do? He goes on a freaking run and just beats the hell out of these squads. Listen, if your best argument for Bama not being in is because they got beat bad today in an extra game, I don't think that's a good argument. I think Bama should be in. This is what can happen. Miami has the head-to-head win. They have the head-to-head victory over Notre Dame. There's no ACC representation if Miami doesn't get in. Those are the two things going in Miami's favor right now. You could argue Texas's loss to Ohio State is comparable to a loss in the conference championship game. No, I don't think you can argue that. Because, again, we're arguing an extra game. Again, y'all keep bringing up 3 losses, but we're not going to penalize. This is the committee's words, not mine. We're not going to penalize the team for playing an extra game. Alabama, in my eyes, is a 10-2 team. We're not going to penalize them for losing in their conference championship game. And I know it was bad. If this was me, Alabama's in regardless. If this is me, BYU's actually getting in with Bama, and we're not going to have this discussion over Notre Dame and Miami. What if they rank Alabama in between the Irish and Miami? Well, dude, they already have listen. If we're going based on their rankings, they could drop Alabama's spot. That means Miami's out, and there's no ACC representation, which I think the College Football Committee might be cool with, but I don't think they will, because they set up this whole, 5 conference championship teams are going to get automatic bids with one being the group of 5 at least. That was with the expectation, okay, well, the conference championship, 4 of those conference championship winners are going to be the Power 4. And then, ta-da, here we are. I think we might see some rules set next year where if you win your conference, you have to be in the top. Like one group of 5 team has to make it, yes. But if you win your conference championship game, you have to be a top 15. You have to be maybe ranked in the top 15 of the college football rankings, which would then eliminate James Madison. And it would allow Miami to sneak in. So now you have this, okay, if you win your conference title game, you get an automatic bid, but you have to be inside the top 15. But a group of 5 teams still has to make it. So hello, Tulane. I think that's probably what's going to happen. And then that scenario plays out like this. That's how the scenario plays out. And now we're not even going to have this discussion. But that's not how it's playing out this year, boys and girls. This is how the committee wanted it to look. This is how the committee wanted it to look. Unfortunately, for the college football committee, this is how it currently looks, and you got a big problem with these 3 teams. Like I said, you could say screw all this, and you just put BYU in, you put Bama in. I don't think it's even a discussion. I think Bama belongs. You could avoid all this. Just throw BYU in. But this is what we had. I don't see a world where this is it. Because then it's like, okay, you're punishing Bama because they played an extra game. And Miami didn't. They weren't good enough to make the ACC championship game. Notre Dame, they didn't play an extra game because they're an independent. But hey, the 2 times this year they played college football playoff caliber teams, they lost, close losses, and they were at the beginning of the year. If anything, this probably just incentivizes teams not to throw hard games at the beginning of the year, at the beginning of their schedule. Maybe this incentivizes teams not to put tough teams on their non-conference slate, especially if they're now, most of these conferences are looking down 9 conference games. So I think this just means we're going to see less competitive non-conference games. I think that's probably what's just going to happen. Notre Dame, Miami over Bama would be the most entertaining. Yeah, but I don't think that's right. Like at the end of the day, I don't think that's right. I think Bama belongs. And I think that's what the committee is going to do. They were ranked at 9, remember? And what did they do? Where are the rankings? I got them right here. Let's take this Duke game down. This were the rankings. You're going to penalize Alabama and move them down 2 spots because they lost their conference championship game. And in that, you're already punishing BYU for losing their conference championship game. Hey, fun fact, guys, BYU, where's their strength of schedule? It's 34. It's better than Miami. It's better than Notre Dame's. We're punishing BYU for losing to Texas Tech twice, who's going to be your 4th seed, at least. Y'all want to punish freaking Bama, okay. I mean, we're punishing teams for losing their conference championship, for losing bad in their conference championship. But now there's no incentive to make your conference championship. Oh, you're saying, okay, maybe we get 2 losses and we don't go to our conference championship game. If that means we make the college football playoff, okay. We cannot be. I don't think we should be. If I'm being honest, BYU should be in. Alabama should be in. Sorry, Miami. Sorry, Notre Dame. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. College football committee, I think they've already said, sorry, BYU. If I'm being realistic, man, dude, I really think they're not going to be down with my ACC with no representation. I think that's probably what we're looking at. Because it's going to get I think it's going to get the least backlash. Because at the end of the day, I think that's what the college football committee wants, the least backlash. And what's Notre Dame's arguing point going to be? You don't have a better strength of schedule than Alabama? Well, we got one less loss because they played in a conference championship game to a team they already beat, by the way, which is a better win than anything you've done this season. Well, Miami shouldn't get in ahead of us. They beat you in the head-to-head. Y'all have a similar strength of schedule and common opponents. Let's be honest. If the college football committee is looking out for numero uno, this is how it's going to look. ACC is so soft. Yeah, it's a rough year for the ACC. It's a rough year for the ACC. Won't the least backlash come from putting BYU in? No, because everyone and their mom's going to be pissed about BYU making it because they're going to argue Notre Dame's better than BYU. Miami's better than BYU. Alabama's better than BYU. Why the hell are we putting BYU in? They just proved, hey, when they face a college football playoff team, they're going to get smashed. They got smashed twice. So BYU would just cause more problems. I would say BYU is more deserving. That's where I'd be at. Just reading some of the chat right now. Just reading some of the chat, trying to catch up. It just burns me that the SEC teams play tough schedules and get all beat up, while Oregon plays cupcake schedule and is fresh and not fair. Well, what was Oregon's strength of schedule? Because Ohio State's isn't that great either. Ohio State, what was 46? To be fair, that's comparable to the ACC or comparable to Miami and Notre Dame. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm going to scroll down, see if we got Oregon down here. I imagine Oregon's not terrible, right? Dude, Oregon's strength of schedule is 16. Why are we mad at Oregon? What did they do? Their strength of schedule is 16. Carson Beck's a fraud? Hell yeah, bro. Agreed. Man. Vandy is 22. Yeah, I think there's an argument for Vandy to be in. 22nd strength of schedule. I mean, you got to still put in Bama ahead of Vandy. But I mean, BYU's not far behind, right? Where's their strength of schedule? It's 35th, right? 34th. Vandy, 22nd. But I mean, then you're going to get Texas, who's got a great strength of schedule. What, they're 8th in the nation, I think, maybe even higher. But I'm sorry, man, you lose to Florida. I don't know. I don't know if we could really compare that. That third loss. I wish it was against somebody better. I get it. You beat A&M. Best win here on the board. Outside of Indiana, by the way. Best win on the board. You beat A&M. That's a huge win. Maybe you make the case Georgia. They beat Ole Miss. That's a really good win. But you lost to Florida, man. We should be ahead of Andy. We got the head-to-head. We got a better strength of schedule. Maybe. But am I here going to make the point that you can't put Texas ahead of Alabama? And now we're going to start discussing about, well, BYU, they only got one loss. Like, this is the thing. If BYU, I know people are going to say, oh, they got 2 losses. We're not talking about conference championship. It's an extra game played. We're looking at the regular season. I'm not putting a 3-loss Texas a 3-loss Power 4 team who didn't compete for anything, who did not compete for their conference championship. I'm not putting Texas ahead of BYU. 1 loss, Power 4 team who competed for their conference title. I'm not doing that. I think at the end of the day, like, it's got to be BYU, right? If we're doing this fair, but we're not. We're trying to talk about what the college football playoff committee is going to do. And I think it's this. I think they're not going to let an ACC have no representation. How are you going to prop up the Power 4 and only 3 of the Power 4s in the college football playoff? No, I don't think Texas is in. I was just trying to make some case for Texas. I mean, Miami's just got, I think, too much going for them. They got the head-to-head over Notre Dame. They got no ACC team about to make the college football playoff. I think Miami's in. Call me crazy. I think Miami's in. So ultimately, it does come down between Notre Dame and Alabama. And I don't think it's close. I think it's Alabama. But I think they're going to keep Alabama ahead of Miami. I don't think Bama's out. I just don't. I think it's going to be fascinating. Does Georgia jump Ohio State? And I think there is a great discussion to be had. Georgia wins the SEC. They got, I would argue, they got a better win, beating Alabama, beating Ole Miss than what Ohio State's got going for them. Let's look at the resume. Georgia, where are you at? Georgia, they got the 25th toughest schedule. Ohio State's down here at 46th. I think actually Georgia's got a great, compelling case to be made that we can see this happen. I don't see Texas Tech jumping Ohio State, though. But I think we could all agree Indiana's won. And then something's going to shake out to where it's these 3 teams being talked about as in the top 4. Right now, resume comparison. Riddle me this, Batman. 22% Miami. 95% Notre Dame. Dude, I mean, right now, this is based on, again, the All-State Playoff Predictor. This is what it's looking like. But I mean, you're giving the show. You're saying, oh, to hell with you, ACC. That's not going to go well for the ACC. But you're literally throwing away head-to-head. That's wild. I don't know, man. We got a lot of chaos that's about to happen. Facts are facts. What are the facts? Facts are facts. This one poll goes in my way. So yeah, facts are facts. What facts? What facts are you presenting? Those percentages are from before today's games. Are you sure? I wasn't listening to the broadcast, so maybe they are. Duke beat Virginia. 8-5 Duke is your ACC champion. There you go. Let's show some respect. There you go, Duke. Don't lose to 2 unranked teams. Louisville was ranked 14th at one point this year. SMU, prior to their loss to Cal, was in the top 25. Slow your roll. How about Notre Dame? You win games. I'm sorry. How about you beat Miami? Florida State beat Bama. Yep. And literally, Bama would be making the same case. We lost that at the beginning of the year. Yeah, they're not great now. They were ranked for a little bit. We'll find out tomorrow. Selection Sunday. Tomorrow. Noon. At noon Eastern, they will announce who makes. They'll announce the top 4 seeds. And then for the next 3 hours, they're just going to try to draw in ratings and they'll play this sucker out rather than just releasing it and then talking about it. I would have BYU in, but yeah, dude, I think we're heading for disaster. This live stream's gone. We've been talking about this for about 50 minutes. We had to wait for the ACC title game to end, but yeah, I guess you let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm done for the day. I've been streaming football for the last 12 hours, 12 and a half hours. I'm toasted. I'm tired. I'm going to get some rest. Tomorrow's the Sabbath. I'm going to rest on the 7th day. But thanks for hanging out with me. If you are on the YouTube on your way out, hit that thumbs up. It's always much appreciated. Much obliged. More draft content on the way. Golly, we're in the thick of things as we got bowl season, playoff season around the corner. People will be making names for themselves. We'll find out who's hitting the transfer portal, who's going to be declaring. It's going to be absolutely nuts. But thank you always for your support. College football season, the NFL season, the draft season. Y'all make it possible. Y'all make it fun. I love having these conversations. I'm never going to be 100% right. I don't know if I'll be 75% right. Probably not. But I love having these discussions with y'all. It's always hella fun. So as always, until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.